The E-Class has been the longest running nameplate in India, and this is the best-selling Mercedes so far in the country. Right now, it is only offered in the long wheelbase version, and this right here is the 6th generation model, which is internally called the V214. However, the car that started it all was this, the iconic W124, the first ever car to wear the E badge. There is a history of about 30 years between these two cars, and we are here to find out how far has the E-Class come in the last 3 decades. But before I do that, do subscribe to Car and Bike if you are new to the channel, and while you're at it, hit that bell notification as well so you never miss videos like these. A little history lesson before we get into the finer details of what separates these two generations of the E-Class. The W124 was the first ever car to be built and sold here by Mercedes-Benz India, and it was assembled at the Pune plant of the erstwhile telco, today known as Tata Motors. However, back in 1995 when the company launched it, the W124 didn't see too many takers, mainly because it came to India right around the end of its global life cycle, and the second generation of the E-Class, the W210, was already on sale in foreign markets. So the people who could afford the W124 back then, not everyone was interested in this beauty. However, the story today is slightly different because today's classic car collectors in India have realized that the W124 can and will stand the test of time. After all, it is known to be one of the most over-engineered cars ever. And the car with me is a testament to that statement. Now, the W124 might have been a big car by 1995 standards. However, the 2024 E-Class has come a long way. Since the last generation of the E, Mercedes has only been selling long wheelbase version of this sedan in India. And currently in the 6th generation avatar, it is over 5 meters long, close to 2 meters wide, and more than 3 meters of wheelbase is offered with this car. At the same time, the W124 is smaller than the E-Class, of course, but interestingly, it is also smaller than the longest C-Class, the C300, which is available in India. Now, the new E-Class runs on a set of 18-inch dual-tone light alloy wheels, but the W124 came with the option of either 15-inch steel wheels with press-fit hubcaps or a set of alloys like the ones you see here. But the value they held back then was at par with the alloys of today. While compared to the halogen headlamps of the W124, the new E-Class gets digital LED headlamps, and this might seem like Star Wars level futuristic. But the granddad of the V214 had some pretty cool tricks up its sleeve too. Now, when you see the lighting knob here, twisted to the right, both the parking lights turn on. However, if you go towards the left side, there are 2 options, and this allows you to select which side parking lights do you want on, the left or right. Now, this feature has trickled down to the latest generation E-Class as well, and you get this on the new E-Class as well. However, for 1995, this was certainly over-engineered. And now that I'm sitting inside, how can I not talk about these wide, comfortable seats, which of course, even after 30 years feel well cushioned. And these right here are wrapped in real leather, none of that artificial stuff, of course, but back then, it was an optional feature. You also get a lot of features which were rare in 1995, like all 4 power windows, you got an automatic air conditioning, hydraulic power steering, and electrically adjustable ORVMs as well. Interestingly though, the W124 with me was not one of the cars that was assembled and sold by Mercedes-Benz India. Rather, it is one of the global models that was imported to our country. So, some of the features which are offered in the India spec model either as standard or as an option are missing here, like dual zone AC and power adjustable driver's seat. Furthermore, the W124 did not come with ventilated or heated seats either. But that's not a big problem considering those 2 features are not available in this new generation E-Class either. Imagine that too near 2025. However, over these last 30 years, the hard plastics and the wood panels have made way for composite soft touch material, futuristic displays, and overall a better fit and finish as well. Also, I like these cushions too. While vehicle safety has surely come a long way, today it's all about having more than half a dozen airbags, a ton of electronic aids like electronic stability control, traction control, hill assist, and the most popular of them all, ADAS or Advanced Driver Assistance Systems, all of which is offered with this modern E-Class. However, for its time, the W124 was possibly the safest car in India. It was not just built like a tank but also offered industry-first features like dual SRS airbags, disc brakes on all four wheels and anti-lock braking system as well. But enough about the E-Class. What I'm eager to know is how does the W124 drive, especially because it's considered to be one of the true driver's cars of its era. A few kilometers behind the wheel of the W124 and you'll instantly agree to that statement. Now, the car I am driving today was not sold here by Mercedes-Benz India because it was a direct import, and this here is the C300T. Now, compared to the 250D's 2.5 litre 5-cylinder engine, here you get a 3 litre straight 6 naturally aspirated oil burner. And this one is mated to a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now, this engine has aged and it shows. It takes its own sweet time to hit that right rev band. However, once it does, it builds up power and speed nicely. And it feels quite nice, quite old school and quite nostalgic. Now, in comparison, this new E-Class with me is the E200. Yes, this is a petrol. Yes, you get 2 less cylinders here, but it is a modern day engine and it is turbocharged. What that translates to is more than 200 bhp on the tap and 300 Newton meter of peak torque. It also comes with a super smooth 9-speed torque converter unit and has the ability to go from 0 to 100 in 7.5 seconds. Having said that, the person buying an E-Class doesn't really care much about those things. In fact, they seldom sit here behind the steering wheel. Their seat is back there. So let's move over and find out which E pampers the boss better. Now, the E-Class gives you all the benefits of the long wheelbase version, and if this amount of legroom and space is not enough, then at a click of a button, you can simply push this front seat ahead and get more room for the boss. Now, since it is a modern day car, you get modern day features as well because you're surrounded by sunblinds on all 3 sides. These are electrically operable and the controls are here. You also get your own zone of AC with rear AC vents. So yes, you can set the temperature according to your needs. There's a wireless phone charger here, and if that's not enough, there's a very nice panoramic sunroof as well. But more importantly, it is the ride quality of the E-Class that really elevates the overall drive experience. It takes on all the undulations on the road with great ease and offers you a plush, smooth ride throughout. Now, let's move over to the other car and find out what levels of comfort the boss received 30 years ago. Now, this is not a long wheelbase, but there is ample room here. And while you get power windows, you do not get a rear AC vent. But I think that is a feature that no one cared about 30 years ago. What truly impresses me though is the ride quality. It is at par with the modern day E-Class, if not better. And what further elevates the experience for me are these cushy seats that offer great comfort and great under-thigh support as well. And that is what gives the car an extra edge. So, to put it simply, in the back seat of the modern day E-Class, you might feel like a modern day top level executive. But here, you know you're the boss. Now, it's true that being a non-turbo diesel, the W124 does lack the outright performance of a modern-day E-Class. However, you must also remember that the older E was not meant to be a performance-focused machine. Rather, a car that was comfortable as a daily driver, which you could enjoy both from behind the wheel or while sitting at the back. But after these last 3 decades of evolution, which puts an extensive focus on improving rear seat experience, the E-Class no longer feels like a driver's car as much as the W124 did. Now, this was not a comparison between these two cars. It was just an attempt to see how far has the new E-Class evolved over these 30 years. Now, back in the 80s and 90s, the W124 was an engineering marvel. It was way ahead of its time. And looking back at that rear view mirror, I can say that the new E-Class has certainly become the perfect descendant to the W124. Now, The big question though is, has the E-Class inherited that stately charm and elegance that the W124 had? Well, why don't you answer that in the comments below? And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow enthusiasts. And for more such videos, keep following Car and Bike.